Hello, once again, folks, to yet another episode of I Ruined It, the new series that we're doing where I'm taking some of your favorite childhood things and ruining them. This week's episode, we are going to be going through and taking care of a Tamagotchi. Let's see how it goes. All right, guys, so like I mentioned, this week we're going to be taking a Tamagotchi here. We're just going to give it a good old quick once over. I mean, nothing really too terribly much to do with the Tamagotchi. I mean, it's effectively an egg with a display. So we just kind of go in, we get our basic lines and everything like that, get our outlining done. And then we futz around for a little bit, trying to get whatever we want to figured out, you know? Wouldn't be one of my videos if it wasn't for me drawing the same line 6 or 7 times, right? Who am I kidding? It wouldn't be an art video in general for any content creator if we weren't sitting here drawing the same line so many times that it's starting to lose its meaning. Alright, then from here we're going to go through and we're going to draw in those buttons. I didn't quite like how they were initially placed, so I know I changed that up. I just don't remember if I changed that up now or if I did that a little later. Guess we'll find out. I guess I did that now. Just wanted them to be a little bit more precise in the placement, if that makes more sense. Oh, but then we're gonna get our little screen guy, feller, friend, all doodly dude on up in here. Nice simple design, kind of similar to the actual designs that were more often than not on the Tamagotchis. You know, pixel limitations and all that fun stuff. Now going in from here, we gave his head that little bit of color. We're going to give the body a little bit of color. I know thematically isn't entirely sensical, but I like the idea of having it have this like color screen for what the inevitable plan was for this episode. But yeah, so then we're going to draw his little LCD background in that gray. I had realized I kind of forgot any kind of a HUD, so ignore the fact that the meat kind of looks a little funny, but you know, sleep, hunger, poop. Those are the 3 things I think of when I think Tamagotchi, at least, so. Oh, but we're gonna go in, and I know for my reference I had a blue Tamagotchi, but again, thematically for what we're making today, I thought red would fit a little bit better. Don't tell any of the Tamagotchi enthusiasts, because I don't know if there was a specific Tamagotchi that you could only get with certain colors or what, but I feel like there might be something blasphemous about it. Oh, but sticking in with the original themes of these kind of contrasting colors, we gave it the blue buttons, and then I want to say right here I was just kind of going through and picking a color palette. I wasn't too terribly sure as to where I was going to go with it. I knew I wanted to kind of keep that geometric shape design, and I ended up going with those kind of vibrant 80s and 90s neon colors. So like these bright fuchsia squares and then these kind of fluorescent green triangles. Then I went in with a bright cyan kind of dots to go around. And then to avoid any kind of issues or anything like that, we just didn't paint on the Tamagotchi logo, but I do think for the base little feller, we did a pretty good job. And we're just gonna give you guys a couple seconds to look over the progress before we go on through and ruin it. So what the plan ended up being was I decided I wanted to do, you know, tale as old as the classic film 2001 Space Odyssey. Hell. I thought it was fairly fitting. This cutesy animal pet, friend pet, virtual pet. I guess I'm a little hazy as to what the classification would be. But I thought it'd be nifty if this little virtual pet was effectively the impetus for being like the prototype for Hal. So, although it's not super straightforward at the moment, those multitudes of lines that are in the background are supposed to be like conduit, housing all the cables coming off of the Tamagotchi and this larger system that it's connected to. And then from here, we're giving it the glow that would normally be on Hal in like, within that lens. I wanted it to appear a little bit more ominous, so we're giving it kind of a flare look. So that'll be a lot more apparent after we go through and we do this, where we smudge some of these colors outward into this ray, and then bring some of them in. And then we go through and we'll just kind of seemingly randomly fudge with the lines a little bit, smudge it some more, and then give it a blur, and it gives this kind of really nice like starburst or flaring effect that you would find like when a star goes supernova. And then I wanted to add that overglow as if the radiation is coming off of it overall, almost as if it's malfunctioning due to it being the artificial intelligence getting angry, so to speak. And then that white just kind of where it peaks the most. And then from here, we're going to go through and get our background color. So we're going to keep in theme with that kind of dark gray stone kind of colors. And I wanted it to be a little bit more cool for this gray, for these conduit pipe. I didn't do the greatest job on some of these things, but I was kind of trying to make do on the time frame that I was allotted when going through drawing this piece. And I went through and I did increase the, I think it's the hue. It's been a while since I've had to know most of these terms, so forgive me. Yeah, I brightened up the gray so that it's a little bit more of a concrete gray kind of color going into this next layer. And then from here, I wanted it to look like it was electrical cables going off of it. So as we get in here, you'll notice that on the one side, I'll have the negative line and the ground, and then on the opposite, I'll have the positive line. As if it's getting its power from something separately, despite being also connected to this main system, almost to signify that it's kind of a rudimentary thing, like it's the prototype made in someone's back basement or something like that. Back of their basement, rather. Then we're gonna go in and we're gonna, because pipe isn't normally just straight lines, we're gonna make sure to add some of these angled connectors where they're needed. Give it the sunburst back, and then from here, I'm pretty sure I just kind of was sitting there giving it a once over for a little bit, trying to see if there was anything else that I wanted to add before going through and doing our best friend, the mask shading. So I did end up messing up a little bit on the shading this first go around, but I do feel like I got it fixed up pretty well in the final. So if you look here, you notice that I ended up doing my layers a little bit wrong. So we have these overlaps. So I ended up just kind of merging them down and blending them together. Then I went back in with another black layer and redid that outer darkermost area, because I wanted this to kind of look as if it was peering through. And we gave him one more big thick layer right around the edge, kind of simulating that vignetting. And then we're going through and adding our little bits of weathering. Honestly, with something that's like this hard plastic design, like a Tamagotchi, the most you can do is really just have a cracked screen and some like busted plastic. But yeah, that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Thank you all so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you have a idea for a future one of these, leave a comment down below. If you want to keep up to date, subscribe and hit the notification bell. Otherwise, I don't really have much else to add. Again, just thank you all for watching, and it's been a good time. Bye.